top story in the headlines a second ago, Ben Habib, just about where so-called asylum seekers will now be seeking home, whether it's military bases. There's been lots of conversations about ferries, barges, you name it. Your thoughts? Well,
it's absolutely right that migrants entering the country illegally shouldn't be housed in hotels in local communities. I mean, that's a kind of statement of the obvious. It's a testimony to how low the political bar has become, that we see it as some kind of victory, that they're no longer going to be staying in hotels, or at least that policy is going to change. So I completely agree that they should be in more functionary accommodation suitable for people who've entered the country illegally. In no way diminishing their human rights, of course, but not giving them the kind of four-star treatment that they get. And the other aspect to this, which Robert Jenrick touched on in that clip, is that, you know, when they get here, there's got to be some kind of deterrent associated with entering the country illegally. The optics of coming here illegally and being put up in four-star hotels is one that you do not want would-be human smugglers picking up on. You don't want them to be publicising the fact that if you cross this channel, actually, once you get to the other side, it's nirvana. So I completely agree with the government in its stance on that. But whether it acts as a deterrent or not, I'm very sceptical, because remember, these people are coming here very determinedly, in numbers, and if they're in a barge for a few months, so what? That's not going to stop them from coming. And I think we need a much more effective form of border control. It's not going to come through moving them out of four-star hotels into barges. It's not going to come from Rwanda. It's not going to come from the illegal migration bill. The only way we're going to solve this is by proper border control in the Channel.
And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Jo Phillips, thoughts?
Well, I think, you know, all of this is fine, but it's a little bit late in the day, because you've still got the problem of 160,000 people who have been waiting, in many cases, over a year, some for as long as 2 years, to have their asylum applications processed. And that is part of the problem. That it's ridiculous that we're spending all this money keeping people in hotels. But if they were being processed more quickly, there are probably quite a lot of people, and I think the figures are around 75% of people who apply for asylum actually get it granted. Those people could actually be working, contributing to the economy and playing a part in the local communities and probably filling some of the job vacancies that we've got. This is fine, but we know there's going to be a huge battle about airfields. One of them is in the Foreign Secretary's constituency, the former home of the dam busters. Local people don't want, you know, big detention centres, because that is in effect what they are, in their constituencies. A couple of them so far are in Conservative MPs' constituencies. So I think there's going to be battles ahead with local councils, with local residents, and we still haven't got any better at processing the people who are already here.
Well, I'll throw it open to you guys. What do you think to the policy announcement today? Will it make any difference? Will it work? Are you in one of the areas? And if so, what do you think about it?